Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon where I'll be talking about their movies, TV shows, merchandising, and anything else related to Disney, of course. But anyway, I just thought I'd just do this for a good moment here because I know, especially in this day and age, I know it feels like everything is politically charged. Of course, especially when Donald Trump is in office, threatening to blow this up and blow that up and whatnot. And yes, of course, the whole thing with, of course, Israel and all that. And I know what I'm about to say is very, very heavy subject matter, and it's quite sensitive in a lot of ways, quite clearly. And there was that. It's pretty understandable, quite obviously. So talk about this type of thing may not be exactly the best thing to talk about because it's going to, well, in other words, cause arguments, people find each other. I mean, personally, I don't mind talking about politics because as long as we do it in several, you can be decent about it as long as we're not yelling or anything, of course. But unfortunately, a lot of people can take things too far, and I'm not one of those people that think politics is a dirty word or anything. But anyway, bottom line, what I'm trying to say here is that personally, I don't mind if the company wants to make war movies. That's their thing if they want to. There's different ways to make stories and whatnot. Even if nowadays many people might say they shouldn't. So there's that. So it could be interesting to consider how the company of Disney could approach to film genres that has evolved over the years. While Disney is primarily known for its animated movies and family-friendly content, but they also produced live-action movies, war movies in the past, such as The Great Escape and stuff like this. But okay, some people believe that incorporating more mature or serious themes can, I guess, brighten broader the storytelling horizons, so to speak. While others may feel that it might contrast their traditional brand image, I guess. Ultimately, companies often balance creative decisions with audience expectations and diverse viewpoints about the film choices are quite common when you think about it. But the thing is that a lot of people don't seem to realize that Disney's involvement in different genres extends beyond just war movies. Yes, they have made lots of war movies over the years, especially back then during World War II. I know it seems obvious, but you'd be surprised on how many people don't know that at all. So there's that, of course. I mean, yes, those different variety of genres which they have made, of course, like Remember the Titans for one, of course. That has something to do with uh, politics, events, and themes. Serious in nature, of course. There's that, quite clearly. And okay, sure, there's also movies like Thor or even Guardians of the Galaxy type movies that showcase their interest in, I guess, sci-fi and fantastical worlds, sure, or even the other type of Marvel movies like the Avengers, Black Panther, stuff like that, or even the those musicals like Frozen 1 and 2. There's that. There's a Little Mermaid, and there's that, of course. And yes, obviously their core identity remains rooted in animated storytelling, which in itself is fine. Stories from, like, let's say Snow White to Frozen or even Beauty and the Beast, stuff like that. That's fine. Or those even movies like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, of course, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And that in itself isn't necessarily a bad thing, really. But like I said, personally speaking, if they want to do different type of stuff, they can actually. Even though talking about political stuff in this day and age is really iffy, really, really iffy. Like something's very decisive when you think about it, but It's just one of these things you do have to be careful. You do have to consider when it comes to making politically charged movies, trying to make them come off fair and make them decent, quite obviously. But it's going to be a really tricky thing to do because you got to make sure you're not biased yourself to make sure it's fair for everybody and whatnot. You can stay out of the Disney's trademark when it comes to these types of movies, of course. That's fine. It's just really difficult to do so. It's really challenging now to make sure that these types of stories are done carefully, crafted carefully, so that nobody will seem like they're left out. I mean, yes, there are politicians who are bad. Yes, of course. There are politicians who do need to be criticized. But then at the same time, there are politicians who are good. I'm not going to be one of those really pessimist type of individuals that think that, oh yeah, all politicians are bad just because they have money. I think that's just stupid. Just because you have a truck ton of money, that in itself isn't really thankful to be bad. I do believe that everybody has the right to remain as if they want to remain as middle class, that's fine. Or if you want to be rich, that's fine too. Or if you're just comfortable working at a, let's say, at a Walmart or Target, if that makes you comfortable and you want to work there for the rest of your life, or even working at Costco for the rest of your life, sure, you can do that if you want. I'm not saying you have to be like a billionaire or anything. If that makes you comfortable, sure, more power to you. But point being, I guess I'm just more a bit of a optimist. I guess you can say, even though I do complain a lot on his movie reviewing channel. But when it comes to war films, if they want to do that, I just have to be really careful with it. Quite obviously, I know again, like I keep repeating myself again and again and again. It's extremely sensitive, and a lot of people like to make war movies about World War II. Like it seems like that's to be the popular war, I guess. Whether it's World War One, World War II, or the Vietnam or whatnot. I know the Vietnam thing was definitely a mixed bag for a lot of people, I guess. I don't know, whatever. You just have to be really respectful in a lot of ways. But anyway, that'll be it, folks. That's all I'm gonna say. I just want to do this real quick. As always, thanks for watching. See you.